Hey you guys, it's Synthie Decibel Shock here. I'm just gonna stand over here because my house is in a real mess and I just saw the background and I don't know where to place the camera because it's very, very messy right now. The last couple of weeks I haven't tidied up. So anyway, it's lovely to be back and I hope you've all been really well and staying creative and supporting the artists that you love. Now, I thought I would do a quick update on Synthie Decibel Shock because since I left Switzerland, the plan was to go and see a few people around Europe and then head back to Australia, which is my home. But Australia has a housing crisis, so I'm still in Europe and still without a base. So my studio is still mobile, and which means it's not a full studio, but the good news is that I've been writing a lot of music, a lot of songs, and there are two ready to go. One, I suggest that you keep your eyes, ears, and everything peeled, glued to all my socials and my Substack because it's gonna be a good one. It's I would say it's the best song that I've written to date. It's production-wise extremely good. Mixing and mastering is fantastic. I didn't mix and master it, but it's absolutely fantastic. And I reckon it's going to go places, this song. I have a strong feeling about it. But that's next year. This year, I wanted to release much more music than what I did. But the circumstances of the personal issues, which I won't talk about, as well as the location issues and the lack of stability in internet connection and the power cuts have not allowed me to do much more than what I did. So the other thing, however, is that I wanted to release song. I wanted the next single to be a 100% Synthie Decibel Shock effort. That means that I did not get help from anybody at any stage of the song, which was great. It was a real challenge doing everything by myself. But the only problem is when I got to the metadata stage, that's when I got stuck. And being a Mac user, I thought, okay, I'm dealing with WAV files. Studios want WAV files, so I got used to working with WAV files as well. But how do I do this now? So I searched around on the internet and searched and searched and surfed and surfed. And there were quite a few forums where people were posting that they had the same questions and stuff. Others were saying that, there were problems with Apple Music not recognizing metadata on WAV files, which I was like, what? Are you serious? So keep that in mind. They say AIFF is obviously okay for Apple to read. So I don't really know how to get around this issue because it's pretty much standard that we use WAV files. So I don't know. I mean, it's getting a bit This is like, I'm a right-brained person. I don't want to think about all this rubbish. But I mean, it's not rubbish, but you know what I mean. It's part of our job. But when it gets to stuff like that, I don't find it very much fun. And this is the first time I've had to really deal with it. So, but the more I surfed, the more stuff I found from blogs and from websites saying that we have an actual crisis right now in the digital music industry when it comes to metadata not being good enough. So they want us to spread the word. So this is a heads up video as well for anybody releasing music. Make sure that your metadata is is accurate enough, that it's done well, because it affects royalties. It affects performance royalties and all sorts of royalties. You know, it can go as far as affecting copyright. But basically, recognition for the songwriters and the engineers, you know, that's really important, obviously. I mean, it's common sense. So one of those blogs was from a website called soundcharts.com, and they wrote a blog called How Broken Metadata Affects the Music Industry and What We Can Do About It. I'm not going to read you the whole blog because it's a bit long, but they say, apart from spreading the word, they encourage us to follow metadata guidelines, and they give us a link to the Music Business Association, which I presume is in the States. When you go over there, it opens up to a PDF, so I will link that PDF here so that you can actually download it as well. To me, it's all double Dutch in there, but it does give a lot of examples, even like from how to do metadata correctly for, I think, The Dark Side of the Moon. They gave examples of Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney, how they did it. How to code, I think, you know, as I said, this is all left brain stuff that I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, the only thing at the moment standing between the next release and us is the metadata issue. So I'm trying to figure it out. If anybody can enlighten me and anybody else who might also not know how to do this properly, please leave a comment and point us in the right direction. We've got to help each other out as musicians. We're not in competition, even though some of you might think we are. We're also different in what we create. That's the great thing about the music biz, that we are actually not in competition. So, and in this respect, we really need to pull our resources together and inform each other, help each other out, because the sooner we sort it out, the sooner this problem is sorted out on a large scale. Keep an eye out on this channel because the release is just a matter of days away. So I can't wait to announce the actual, well, I don't know the date yet, but it's definitely like nowish. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.